LiveWorx 2018, good morning. Give them a huge round of applause. That was incredible. Absolutely incredible, yes. Amazing, amazing. I want one of those light suits. Save me one of those light suits. I want one of those. Hey everyone, welcome to LiveWorx. I don't know if you know this, but this is the largest digital transformation conference in the entire world. You all are here, you made it, you're a part of it. Make some noise, give yourselves a round of applause. It's absolutely time to kick this off, but before we get started, we have so much jam-packed great things for you today. I want to first get a show of hands, or stand up if you're brave. How many of you are at LiveWorx for the very first time? Show your hands, hold them up for a second. People that are around you, pay attention. If you're a veteran, you've been here before, take a note of those with their hands up, make them feel welcome. You guys are going to be excited for what's in store for you. If it's your first time, you have a lot to enjoy. How many of you are returning? How many of you have been here before? Ooh, veterans, awesome. Good to see you all. All right, well then you guys all know what you're in store for and what it's going to be like. So hang on tight, because the next 3 days are going to be super intense. You'll have a direct pipeline to top players in the hottest areas of your field. I mean, we're talking everything, you name it. Internet of Things, check. AR, check. AI, done. Blockchain, done. Robotics, we got that. Anything that you're looking to do, we have it covered as it relates to digital transformation in this day and time. You're going to be able to strategize and visualize all of your opportunities, be able to uncover new opportunities, and you're going to energize your thinking for the coming year. And we all know there's nothing better than getting out of the day-to-day job, coming to an actual conference where there's great thought leaders, great people, hearing from experts, and getting an insider look at exactly what's coming down the road. That's why you come here. That's why LiveWorx puts on such an amazing conference, to make sure that you're getting the information that you need to transcend your career, your companies, your opportunities, and society forward. And boy, do we have some amazing experts lined up for you. I know many of you probably been on the website or you've checked out the mobile app, but let me just break it down for you really quick. More than 550 presenters, 350 different types of content, and 30 different training sessions, all for you. And in and around these sessions, you can check out more than 85 exhibitors, all there to demonstrate and show some of their world-class products and how you can integrate with them and move things forward. One more thing. I just found out about this too. This is pretty cool. Because when you get to go up on a stage, it's kind of circular. You have to kind of work the room, and then you realize there's so many people here. Well, I just found out that this LiveWorx is the biggest ever, with more than 6,100 of you from more than 40 different countries. Make some noise. Make me feel incredible that this is amazing. 6,000 people are here. What that means for you is that this conference is growing. This conference is where you need to be right now at this time. So don't overlook the value of so many other experts. All of you are experts in your own right. All of you have talents, gifts, abilities, experiences, and expertise. So share. You need to connect with your fellow attendees. We have innovators, makers, doers, influencers. 40 different countries are represented here. From around the world, this is the spot to be. So get in there and network with each other. This is your opportunity to go to as many receptions as you can. Go to as many meetups as you can. Make new friends, make new connections. That's what everybody is here for. If you're normally shy or you're a little bit more introverted, this is your time to break out, because guess what? Other people are too, and they want to meet you. So often I say in these scenarios, when you have this great mind swell of so many awesome people in the same place, curiosity creates opportunity. I tell this whenever I'm advising entrepreneurs, whether I'm talking to technology innovators, creatives, influencers, my kid. Curiosity creates opportunity. So go out there, make sure that you're networking, meet people, be more curious, ask more questions, and then ask them why. Why do you do what you do? Or you can easily start a conversation by saying, have you been to LiveWorx before? That's simple enough. or like, what are you working on? What problems are you facing? What are you wrestling with? What opportunities are you exploring? What do you actually see in your space, in your world? Everybody here wants to converse. Everybody here wants to meet and explore. So take advantage of that. It's networking. It's easy. It's why you're here. You can do it. You can get it done. Now, here's something else you can do as well. Take out your phones and download. If you haven't done this already, you want to download the LiveWorx mobile app. Hold on a second while I'm doing that myself. Downloading LiveWorx mobile app, because this is going to keep you connected to everything that's happening. You'll be able to see the agenda, the presenters, sponsor information, maps, other attendees, and if that hasn't sold you on it, it's your key to local discounts. So for those of you that are like, I'm in it for the money savings, download the app for that then, all right? All right, so get to downloading, make sure that you have the LiveWorx mobile app, because that's going to keep you connected to everything that's going on at the event. Now, another thing that you should do is use the official LiveWorx hashtag when you're doing any social media. I see many of you out there shooting, you're taking pictures, you're shooting video. That's great. We all can't be at the same place at the same time. So what's really great about tracking the hashtag LiveWorx is that we're able to see everyone else's posts and be able to see and learn from some of the other experiences that you're seeing. So share those. We'll put them up on the big screens. We'll even highlight a few throughout the next couple of days. I'll be picking some great ones that we see out there to share with all of you. So make sure that you're posting a lot and putting that hashtag LiveWorx in it as well. There's a lot of excitement around this event, ladies and gentlemen. And in order to put on something of this magnitude, of something of this importance, of something of this incredible ability to bring so many experts, influencers, and intelligent people together to move things forward and to build bigger dreams, you have to have the right sponsors to make this work. And so right now, I want to give a shout out to our pinnacle sponsors for making this happen. So as you hear their names, or at the end, give them a big round of applause for me. Accenture is here. Thank you, Accenture. Yeah, we'll do it in between each one. Capgemini, Deloitte Digital, and Infosys. That's right. Thank you, all four of you. These are four major players in the digital transformation space. So this is massive that they're here. This is awesome that they're supporting this and making this happen. So we thank you again for that. All right, without further ado, are you guys ready to get started or what? Ooh, that's a little lukewarm over here. All right, let's try over this side. Are you guys ready to get started or what? If you've seen me do this before, then you know that I'm all into selfies. And so you guys just earned a selfie over here on this side of the room. All right, here we go. On three, make some noise. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Woo! Throw the hands up. Yeah! That looks awesome. Thank you for that. All right, one more over here. You guys ready for the day or what? You sure? You sure? All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, selfie time. Bam, got it. Thank you. Awesome. We have so much in store for you all today right here in the Apex Theater. Okay, Apex. This is the place. It is. First up, we're going to hear from...
How may I help you?
Wait, what?
Did you say, okay, Apex?
Yeah, I think, yeah, I did, right. I said
I am Apex. How may I help you?
What do you do? You are what?
Your intelligent assistant. I provide information, answer questions, and perform tasks for you.
Oh, all right, let's see. Well, pleased to meet you. I'm Mario.
I am pleased as well. Is Luigi here too?
Seriously? Like, I get that everywhere I go. No, that's a different Mario. That's a different Mario. All right, I tell you what, since you're so intelligent, let's see what you can do. Apex, can you dim the lights?
I have dimmed the lights for you.
Oh, wait, I can't see. That's a little too dim. Apex, can you turn them back up?
I have undimmed the lights for you.
Okay, whoa, too bright. Can you turn them down again, please? I can't see myself. Sorry, that's too dark again.
There are helpful articles on how to stop being indecisive. Shall I conduct a web search?
No, Apex, that's fine. I don't need you to do that. Can you just do me a favor and bring them back up the way they were before? All right, perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can see there's a bit of a learning curve here. But you know I'm into selfies, so I'm going to take a selfie with you if you don't mind. I'm going to do that right now.
I am happy to be in your selfie.
That's awesome. Just took a selfie with Apex. You seem so capable, Apex. How about this? Can you tee up our first presenter?
I can do that for you. Would you like that with or without video?
Let's do it with video.
Teeing up first presenter with video.
Okay, awesome.
Please get out of the way.
Oh, right. Sorry. So intelligent.
In the world we live in, the physical world, a destination is an actual place or a thing. Something that can be reached and even touched. In the digital world, the notion of a destination doesn't exist. Data is constant, moving at a high velocity, with new sources and connections. Today, humans live in both of these worlds at the same time and need superhuman abilities to harness the power of these intersecting worlds. As the physical and digital worlds converge, the idea of a destination is evolving, and a wide, open frontier of constant innovation is emerging. PTC is embracing this pace of change to propel us all forward. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President and CEO of PTC, Jim Heppelmann.
Wow. From a place to a pace. It's no longer about where we are or where we're headed. It's about how fast we're moving. It applies to me and to PTC, and it applies to you and your company. A year ago here at LiveWorx, I defined a new frontier of innovation that I saw happening at the convergence of the physical and digital worlds. Technologies like additive manufacturing, Internet of Things, machine learning, augmented reality, smart manufacturing, and digital twins are creating new opportunities for innovation, for disrupting industries, and even calling into question how we think about business strategy. Today, it's no longer sufficient for companies or us as employees to think about some future state, some point B as our destination, and then move methodically towards that place. That type of mindset allows everybody to close their mind and to build up too much inertia along a point-in-time understanding of the world around us. Inertia ultimately is your main competitor because it's the enemy of change. When we stick to a fixed view of the future, by the time we get there, we'll find the world around us has changed in ways that we didn't anticipate. The technology has evolved in different directions, and disruption may have already happened. And even if we do achieve this point B destination, there's no time to rest on our laurels, because with the pace of change, every advantage is increasingly difficult to sustain. Today, no matter what industry you're in and what you're trying to do, you'll find challenges and threats coming from every direction, even outside your industry. In a world that's moving that fast, it's not good enough to be willing to accept a change. We must embrace a pace of change. We need a mindset where clock speeds are short, innovation is continuous, and where a willingness to react quickly and change frequently is viewed as a core competency. At PTC, we've embraced this place to a pace perspective in all aspects of our business. How we think about our role in the technology universe, how we work with partners, where our headquarters should be, how our business model works, the way we drive technology innovation, the way we evolve our culture, even how we think about security and privacy. To reinforce that point, I tell our employees that the PTC acronym really means prepare to change. It's a great motto. Like you, our company must be ready and willing to make change happen at a blistering pace. You're going to see some really great examples of that today. For starters, as you might have seen on your way to LiveWorx, there's a new building just a block or so north of here that will soon carry the PTC logo. In a big change that will increase the pace of our culture, PTC is moving its global headquarters right down here to the seaport, to the Innovation District of Boston. Just as ground zero for CAD and PLM industry is here in Boston, we're convinced that this region has the opportunity to establish itself as the epicenter for new disruptive technologies like additive manufacturing, Internet of Things, and augmented reality. So in 6 months, PTC will bring more than 1,000 employees and our 30-year heritage of technology innovation to our new headquarters. We're leaving our private offices behind to move to a cutting-edge open floor plan that's designed to drive more collaboration and more flexibility. Nobody will have a dedicated office, not even me. The most exciting feature of this headquarters, though, is the one that we've reserved for you, our customers and partners. Our new Customer Experience Center will occupy the top floor of the building, even incorporating into it an outdoor roof deck. When you visit, we'll show you an amazing view of the Boston Harbor and downtown, and then we'll show you some truly amazing experiences with technology, things that you won't see anywhere else in the world. Throughout my talk, I'm going to preview with you how PTC has embraced an incredible pace of change in our vision, in our technology offerings, and in how we think about our partner ecosystem. As a high-tech innovation leader, PTC sees that its mission is to show the world the types of digital transformation that can be created by harnessing the convergence of the physical, digital, and human forces. Each of these contributors has unique and powerful capabilities. Machines are strong, precise, and tireless. Computers can calculate and analyze volumes of data at lightning speed. But humans alone possess the powers of creativity and ideation, coupled, of course, with very sophisticated sensory and motor skills. When you transform all three at once, the whole becomes a lot greater than the sum of the parts. With our prepare to change mindset, we see that our mission is to accelerate and expand the rate of innovation in the design and manufacture of physical things, in the capture and analysis of data, in the orchestration across digital systems, and in the ability of humans to participate more directly in this transformation. In my talk, I'm going to take you through a journey of amazing changes happening across these physical, digital, and human fronts to show you how PTC, together with our partners and inspired by our customers, has established a new pace of innovation. Let's start on the physical front. For eons, innovation in the physical world was the only option we had. If you had a good idea and it had any amount of complexity, you drew a 2D picture to work out the details, and then you tried to bring it to life. Now, 30 years ago, PTC disrupted everything with 3D CAD that allowed you to describe objects in full detail and from every angle. That enabled us to improve the accuracy and the efficiency of design and the quality of the physical output. But all of the main CAD tools have been built on a premise of traditional manufacturing operations like making chips, bending metal, or molding plastic. For decades, we've all been involved in innovating within the constraints of subtractive manufacturing. And we did that because we couldn't imagine doing it any other way. Mother Nature, however, has taken a very different approach. She uses cell division, which is an additive process, and it enables her to create complex but super efficient physical shapes that until recently have been nearly impossible for humans to duplicate. Think about this bird versus an airplane and how each was designed to fly. Think about how different the external structure is, how different the internal structure is, and how differently that structure needs to be manufactured. The same applies to trees gathering sunlight versus the solar panels that we install, or to the veins in our bodies versus the circulatory systems we build into the products that we manufacture. In every example, you get to a very different place depending upon the process you follow. If you work backwards from cutting, bending, and molding, you land in one place. And if you think forward from an additive process, As a starting point, you get to a very different place, but only if your tools support it. It's time for us to adopt some of Mother Nature's magic and expand our toolkit with intelligent additive design. And thanks to our latest CAD technology, you all have a new tool that Mother Nature would approve of. I'm super excited to announce that Creo 5 contains a bunch of new additive capabilities, including a powerful topology optimization capability that's a new built-in feature of Creo. The word built-in is key here because I'm not talking about another broken tool chain where you export data out of a CAD system and manipulate it toward the final design in some other tool. This is all done directly in Creo, and the net result is Creo geometry. So you pick your path forward. Think like the engineer you were trained to be, or think like Mother Nature. Either way, you get full-blooded Creo parts. Now, I want to show you an example based on this iconic Triumph motorcycle. Man, would I love to have one of those. Now, on any motorcycle, one of the most important components is the rear swing arm. The swing arm is the main component of the rear suspension, and it's used to hold the rear axle in place while pivoting vertically to allow the suspension to absorb bumps in the road. As such, there's a lot of engineering hours dedicated to this part, and it's a key opportunity to improve both design and functionality. Currently, the swing arm requires 5 structural parts, 3 casted and 2 bent tubes, all welded together in order to implement the design. Let's take off the shackles and try the additive approach. Keep in mind that this is a visible component, so just like Mother Nature's peacock, we want to optimize the balance of functionality with good looks. So we're going to start by defining the external shape we want for cosmetic reasons, and then we'll turn it over to Creo to use a form of artificial intelligence to optimize the internals of the part to meet our design requirements. Note that because of the non-symmetrical forces created by the drive chain on one side, you shouldn't be surprised if Creo suggests a non-symmetrical optimization. So here's Creo thinking through the best design, doing some analysis, and generating the internal structure. So if we do some slicing and dicing, the blue represents the internal structure calculated by Creo topology optimization, and red, of course, is the outside envelope that we asked it to start with. So here's the internal parts as calculated by Creo, and then we're converting all that back to native geometry, and here we are with a full Creo geometric part. Wow, that's pretty interesting, especially the internal structure and how optimized it is. So as I mentioned, the unique thing about Creo is that this optimized design ends up as B-rep geometry that can be further modified parametrically, just like any other geometry you create. So no more wasting your time trying to manually recreate geometry in an effort to produce a true CAD part that matched some optimized topology created in an external tool. Now, I think this is a very big deal because having Mother Nature at your side, or at least borrowing some of her techniques, really changes everything. With these advancements in Creo, I think you need to be prepared to change. Now, whether the parts and assemblies are generated by a computer algorithm, like we just saw, or designed by a human hand in CAD, we still need to test them using simulation techniques to understand how they'll perform in various situations that they might encounter in the physical world. Now today, the CAD design and simulation process is spread across another clunky tool chain, whose friction causes it to be executed as an intermittent process. Design for a while, then simulate. Correct the problems you find, maybe add some new ideas, and simulate again. Rinse and repeat. Really, this should be a continuous process, just like the modern spell checker that you use in Microsoft Word, the one that fixes problems, or at least draws them to your attention, as fast as you type. Design simulation is one process that could really benefit from taking a fresh look. And when we did, we found an amazing new answer. So I'm very pleased to announce this morning that PTC, the leader in 3D CAD, is entering into a major new partnership with ANSYS, the leader in engineering simulation, to fundamentally rethink the way that CAD and simulation work together. As partners, PTC and Ansys are developing a combined solution that offers customers a unified modeling and simulation environment. No air gap between CAD and simulation, so that engineers have real-time insight into the implications of the thousands of design decisions they make throughout the product development process. To help me describe how this collaboration will revolutionize product design, please welcome to the stage the President and CEO of Ansys, Ajay Gopal. Great, thank you.
Good seeing you.
Good. So, hello Ajay, and welcome to LiveWorx.
Thanks, Jim.
Now, I know you have many customers here in the room already, but because we do have a mixed audience, maybe you can share a little bit about what Ansys does.
Sure, Jim. So as you know, Ansys is the global leader in engineering simulation. We help 45,000 customers around the world solve their toughest product challenges. And as you said, as the physical and digital worlds combine, and leading to amazing new products like self-driving cars and intelligent medical devices, smart buildings, as the physical and digital worlds come together, companies are facing greater complexity than ever before. Ansys helps companies around the world tame that complexity with the broadest and deepest simulation portfolio. It spans structures, fluids, electromagnetics, optics, embedded software, semiconductors. Simply put, we help our customers build the most innovative products faster, at lower cost, and at lower risk.
Yeah.
And we do that with the power of simulation.
You certainly are well known for that. Can you talk about how customers have traditionally used simulation and how you see that changing now?
Well, Jim, as you know, historically, simulation has been used at the end of the design process to validate and to verify designs, to avoid creating physical prototypes. But that's changing. Simulation is becoming pervasive throughout the product lifecycle. With increased product complexity, innovative companies realize that they need to use simulation more often. They need to use simulation early in the design process when ideas are just being developed. They need simulation to optimize manufacturing, including, as you said, new processes such as 3D printing, metal additive manufacturing. Customers are using simulation for preventative maintenance. They're using simulation to better manage product performance in operations. We call this pervasive simulation, and we believe, frankly, it's the only way to develop the products of the future.
So Ajay, you mentioned the role that simulation can play upstream in design and engineering. And from our meetings, I know that you have a amazing new real-time simulation breakthrough that's starting to get a lot of attention out in the market. And frankly, it makes our CAD product managers giddy. So can you tell us about that?
So that's right. So the industry knows that our flagship simulation solutions are the best and the most accurate in the market. Period, end of story. But to complement these flagship products, we've recently introduced a revolutionary new offering, a new product called Ansys Discovery Live. And whereas our flagships optimize for accuracy, Discovery Live optimizes for real-time response. It optimizes for ease of use. Discovery Live is as fast and intuitive as a video game. But it's not a CAD solution. It's a simulation solution. And so we saw an opportunity. We saw an opportunity to work together with you guys to integrate Discovery Live's real-time simulation capabilities into Creo. And frankly, that's what we want to show the audience today.
All right, great. So when Creo, or when Discovery Live is embedded into Creo, then engineers using Creo can immediately see the implications of every single design change that they make.
And Jim, this combination is going to be absolutely awesome.
I agree with you. I think it's one of these amazing topics that we could discuss at length, but a short demonstration would make the concept crystal clear to everybody. So let's invite one of those giddy CAD guys, Brian Thompson, who's the head of PTC's CAD business, to show it what it really means.
Thanks, Jim.
You feeling giddy?
Ajay, thank you. Giddy CAD guy reporting for duty here. Yes, thank you very much.
You'll see how giddy he is in a minute.
As Jim and Ajay discussed, today, without a big change, using simulation in the design process likely involves a copy of the CAD model, it's analyzed outside the design environment, and it's probably done by an expert. Well, not anymore. With Creo Simulation Live, it really is, oh yeah, this is live demo. With Creo Simulation Live, it really is as simple as, do you have your boundary conditions, and hitting Start Simulation. And there it is. That's a finite element analysis result right here in the CAD environment in what, 3 seconds? Ridiculous, right? If you blinked, you might have missed it, okay? It's really come down to the point that choosing whether or not you have finite element analysis result is like whether you want shaded view or shaded with edges. That's right. FEA results in the environment you're designing in are now like a display mode choice. Think about that, right? I know it seems crazy, but let's look a little deeper. It turns out what we're seeing here is deformation. If you're not familiar with these kind of previews, red means there's a lot of movement, dark blue means there's just a little bit of movement, and it's a little easier to see if we animate. Right there in the assembly, right? So now you can kind of get a sense of what's happening. It turns out that the stresses are really the problem here. So let me turn off the animation. Oh yeah, live demo. It's live, baby. Let me turn off the, I'll turn off the deformation like I did, and let me show the stress. Now, for this material, this stress is actually kind of high, and in fact, if I go here, you kind of see under here, we've got a little bit of a problem, okay? So, what I'm going to share with you now is what it really means to never make another uninformed design decision again, right? So let me go back down. I have some preset sections. This is not a modeling session. This is a simulation session. So the modeling will be simple. Let me just attach this to the material here. Very simple. Okay? Don't blink. There it is again. How long did that take? Real-time feedback, right? Are you seeing this? Every time I make a design change, a new finite element analysis kicks in. You know exactly how that change will impact the design's behavior. Is this like kind of ridiculous or what? It's kind of amazing, right? Really crazy. All right. So look, I'm an engineer. And I kind of know this part. This part is extruded. And so I got to put rounds here because it just offends me. The engineers in the room, they know. Yeah, I'm going to put rounds here, I promise. All right, we're going to put them in the middle only. No, we're not. We're not going to put them anywhere. Turns out I've reduced the stresses down about 120 to about 60 megapascals from 120 megapascals, and we're done. Okay? So this is pretty awesome stuff. I want to thank Ajay and Jim for the opportunity here. What do you guys think?
Brian, that's absolutely awesome. Does anybody else have this concept of real-time simulation embedded in CAD?
No, Jim. In fact, ANSYS is the only one that has real-time simulation, and PTC is the only one embedding it in CAD.
All right, great. Thank you, Brian.
Thanks, Jim. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. So, Jim, as you can see, this is a unique combination. And I think it's going to have a huge impact on the market. As you know, about 80% of a product's costs get locked in during the early crucial design phase. And through real-time digital exploration, designers can now innovate at the speed of thought, right? We provide cost and time savings by finding and eliminating design problems early in the process. Engineers can try multiple options. They can try to creatively solve design challenges without risking a product delay or a setback.
Yeah, absolutely, Ajay. And I think I trust all of you can see now why we're so excited about this product. We at PTC, in partnership with ANSYS, are making great progress, as you can see, building the Discovery Live technology into Creo. We plan to release it to our Creo customers this fall, even backporting it into previous versions. And when I think about it, who would not want this capability in their CAD environment? I mean, this is really going to be a big deal for both PTC and ANSYS. This is another one of those breakthrough moments where I have to tell everybody, you need to be prepared to change. So Ajay, this is exciting, but if you think about what a leader in CAD could do together with a leader in simulation, it seems like we do a lot more than this to make our customers successful. For example, we could further develop our IoT-based relationship around the concept of pervasive simulation in digital twins.
Well, so that, Jim, that's already been done. So last year, as you know, we announced that our ANSYS simulation technology is being added to applications that are built on the ThingWorx platform. And this combination of the ThingWorx platform with ANSYS simulation, this combination empowers companies to improve product performance dramatically. They can rapidly identify, they can diagnose operational issues, and they can predict future operational conditions. In short, Jim, customers can transform raw intelligence into actionable intelligence. And it opens new opportunities for companies to create value by optimizing operations and maintenance and integrating that back into future product development. So Jim, simulation is not only pervasive, it is absolutely critical to innovation.
That's fantastic, Ajay. I'm excited and frankly proud of what our companies are doing together. I think we're going to sell a lot of simulation for you, and I know you're going to help us differentiate both our CAD and IoT platforms in some amazing ways. So I want to thank you for joining us here at LiveWorx, and thank you more importantly for joining PTC in this very important partnership.
Thank you, Jim, for the partnership.
Yes. So I want to encourage you all to visit the ANSYS booth in Extropolis and attend one of the many sessions that are scheduled throughout LiveWorx agenda to learn more about this amazing partnership that's going to change the way that we think about CAD, simulation, and IoT. Now, as a mechanical engineer, and married to one, by the way, my wife's in the audience back here somewhere, I'm very excited to see the big changes that are happening on the physical front. Well, clearly we're moving from a place to a pace, because whether we're borrowing techniques from Mother Nature or leveraging real-time simulation from ANSYS, the design process will never be the same again. But as amazing as those developments are, we all know that the innovation story doesn't stop there. So let's talk about one of the more accessible sources of innovation today, which we can find on the digital front. So over the last 30 years, companies have increasingly capitalized on digital innovation, embellishing what were once pure physical assets with embedded sensors and software, connecting them to the internet so that we could monitor and control them, using artificial intelligence to analyze their data to better understand how to optimize them, and even enabling them to work together in product systems and larger systems of systems. Now, as products changed, so did PTC. We evolved in parallel to help customers succeed in the journey of transformation across product design, manufacturing, operations, and service. And with our industrial innovation platform based on both ThingWorx and Vuforia, we've helped customers to source, contextualize, and analyze data, and to orchestrate flows that optimize how business processes work, and to engage users in new applications that unlock productivity. Now, we certainly feel like we've been doing our part to enable this digital transformation, but it's a very big world out there, and we can't do it all alone. And that's why we turned to Microsoft. So thanks to the major partnership that PTC and Microsoft announced in January, we've agreed to align PTC's PLM, IoT, and AR software with Microsoft's Azure IoT, the HoloLens mixed reality technology, and their Dynamics ERP, and an integrated solution for industrial IoT and digital product lifecycle management. Now, at the center of this collaboration is PTC's selection of Microsoft's Azure and IoT Hub as our preferred cloud platform. With Azure IoT, we're helping customers to aggregate and analyze data, and with ThingWorx, we're helping them to build the applications that put it to work in their business. This is exactly the combination that our collective customers require in order to be able to unlock the value in their IoT-enabled digital transformation journeys. So to help me explore this new partnership, please join me in welcoming the Vice President of IoT and Mixed Reality from Microsoft, Rodney Clark. Hey, Rodney.
How you doing, Jim?
It's great to see you again, and we're very proud to have you here at LiveWorx to talk about our partnership. So can you share your thoughts with me? How do you see the state of the industry?
Yeah, the state of the industry, Jim. By the way, thank you so much for having us. So great to be here. You know, partnership is absolutely key and critical in this space. Our customers want to drive outcomes, and they rely on us to provide them with the data and the information and the tools to bring these outcomes to life. When we think about the billions of devices that are in the industry and the number of solutions that it takes to actually create opportunities for our customers to execute against, it is super clear that no one company can do it alone.
Now, Rodney, it was recently announced that Microsoft is investing $5 billion into IoT to see this vision through. So how does this investment advance partners and customers' digital transformations through connected solutions?
Yeah, $5 billion, right? You know, we start with this notion of our worldview of intelligent edge and intelligent cloud. And there were many meetings in Redmond, dark rooms in January with rain pelting the windows going, how do we bring this magic to life? What do we need to do? And it wasn't so much the dollar amount on the investment, but it was the four things that the investment would drive. R&D, and making sure that we had a rich focus and tradition on building those products to come into the market, the resources that would actually be deployed against that, and then the two things, Jim, product and partner. And on product, it was, hey, how do we unlock all of this data and information from these devices? Really reasoning on the edge. And in partnership, it was recognizing that it takes 20 to 25 partners to complete an IoT and AR scenario, and that's where PTC comes into the picture.
Yeah, great. Well, as one of your new partners, I'm excited to see that $5 billion. Hopefully a little bit of it will trickle down to us.
$5 billion, Jim.
Where do you see the key business synergies between Microsoft and PTC, and how do you see us driving this partnership in the market?
Yeah, there were three things that we looked at Microsoft. You know, the first is that our companies are aligned. You know, our values are aligned. You see the value in IoT and AR. We see the value in IoT and AR. The second thing was best in class. PTC is best in class at PLM, at CAD, at AR. Microsoft best in class at complementary things, this hyperscale cloud platform, the security and all the capability that we build into that. And then the third area was around product. An amazing focus around engineering and bringing products together. You mentioned earlier, ThingWorx, a platform sitting on top of Azure, and a platform. That was super key and critical for us. It was then taking your rich tool set like Creo, Vuforia, and the fact that you can drag and drop in this development environment, that's awesome. And then we can take that and visualize it through HoloLens and get into remote field service scenarios where your tools were supporting ours. And that's what really brings it to life. So again, this notion of aligned vision, best in class, and product and engineering.
Yeah, that's great. So our collaboration around IoT synergies creates a new set of opportunities for our companies, and of course, a lot of new capabilities for our customers. It's ThingWorx in Azure, it's Windchill and Dynamics, it's Vuforia and HoloLens. Lots of new opportunities are coming out of that. Things like AR design reviews in engineering, or monitoring equipment to achieve operational efficiencies in the factory, or servicing smart connected products that are out at the customer site very efficiently. So let's take a look at one of our first joint customers, Colfax. One division of Colfax called ESAB, E-S-A-B, produces industrial welders. And here we have an ESAB MIG welder that's connected to their Weld Cloud solution that is, in fact, based on Azure IoT and ThingWorx. They can monitor the overall health of the welder, including the voltage and the current condition, what's it doing, how's the cooling system, the cabling, what have you. And it's a great example of a smart connected product where IoT data is used to optimize customer productivity and field service use cases. So in this scenario, we're going to use ThingWorx to source information from Azure IoT, which the welder's talking to, but also from Windchill and Microsoft Dynamics. And if in the process of that we see something that we don't like happening, then we're going to be alerted, and depending upon the circumstances, a service technician might be dispatched, maybe even with a HoloLens and an AR experience, to go out in the field and service the welder. So to help us step through this use case, please welcome one of our engineers, Sveta Saul, to come up and give us a demonstration. Hello, Sveta.
My pleasure. Thanks, Jim. Yes.
All right, can you show us how we integrate information from different business systems like Windchill and Dynamics to pull this all together with ThingWorx?
Sure, I'll be happy to. I have already started connecting the dots, but I can show you some of the really cool new features we have.
Now, as you're scrolling there, I'm seeing lots of different things we can connect to. I see ServiceMax and Office and Windchill and Integrity and GitHub, Jira, SAP. Lots. Basically, every system I might want to tap into, and it looks like you're putting them together in some kind of a flow.
That's exactly right. We even have a connector for those who want to leverage blockchain to add value to their business.
Okay.
Our customers and partners can add connectors as well.
Okay, so one of the big improvements that we've been making to ThingWorx is to make it much easier to configure how to leverage data throughout a business process that spans systems. Because usually the response to something in the field isn't as simple as just go do one thing in one system.
That's exactly right. You will see that with these connectors, we can dynamically look up how a customer may have configured their system, a system such as Dynamics. So if I open, let's take a look at Get Open Work Orders. Here we're querying information from Microsoft Dynamics using previously acquired asset data. So we can easily drive and interact with the system without being expert coders. So down here, what we're doing is we're gathering data from ThingWorx. We're also acquiring some information from Windchill, and then we're routing that into the message that we're going to send to our service technician to notify them of the job. So let's finalize this flow. I'd like to add the URL to our service experience. So I'm going to drag a Get Experience activity here. Just connect it into my flow, as easy as that. And what I need to do is choose my connection and also add the name of my welder. As you can see, the UI is very user-friendly, allowing even knowledge workers to drive this flow. So this information that we have acquired from previous steps is available to us in subsequent activities to use, making it very easy. OK, so I've added this. I have pre-configured my message. And I'm also updating Dynamics as well as I am sending this notification to our service technician. So I'm just going to add my URL to the message. And
so
done.
You're automatically configuring an AR experience for this exact welder based on some IoT-enabled alert.
Absolutely. We've gathered this data through the process. Like I mentioned, we have it available at every subsequent step, so it's easy for us to just bind these activities and execute our flow. So I'm just going to go ahead and save that. And now, why don't we try this? Let's simulate a cooling incident by welding for too long with our welder. Thank you, Jim.
Do I need to back up?
OK, maybe I didn't quite run it long enough to get it hot.
OK, so we can see this flow running live.
Oh, wow.
And for developers, we also have a great debugger here as well. OK, so there we go. I have my text message with my experience URL. And now I can go service my welder.
All right, great. Thank you, Sveta. That's a really great demo and great set of enhancements that have shown up here in ThingWorx.
Just one quick thing I wanted to show everyone. While we did this, we can now also see in Dynamics that we have updated the notes of our record, and we also have updated the status of the work order.
All right, so that's now part of the customer experience record. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, OK, great. All right, well, you can all check this out. There'll be the real live welder and so forth out in the Extropolis, and I'm sure Sveta will be happy to give you a personal demo if you can make it there. So thank you very much, Sveta.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Sure, thank you.
So that brings us to the topic of delivering digital insights in the context of the physical world. Now, PTC calls this AR, and Microsoft calls it mixed reality, or MR. Rodney, can you characterize Microsoft's vision for IoT and MR and how that works together?
Yeah, I'll take us back to that worldview of intelligent edge and intelligent cloud. And really what we think about is how we democratize IoT and artificial intelligence. MR, mixed reality, by our definition, becomes central to our intelligent edge and intelligent cloud strategy. It's about these multi-sense devices at the edge, in this case, HoloLens, reasoning over a set of data that gives us ways to visualize the information to make decisions, like in a field service scenario. But we don't view this through a single lens. That's where we are today. Really, it's around how do we engage near-field opportunities, which might be something like AR or MR, with far-field camera technology and lenses. And then how does all of that come together in a single platform that's customized and gives us to deploy that technology and capability at the edge? It's multi-sense devices. It's a set of multi-sense device applications that light up object-based scenarios. And again, that really underscores where our work with PTC comes into play.
Yeah, that's great. So this is where Creo and Vuforia and HoloLens and ThingWorx all excel together. So let's watch how this works at one of our joint customers, BAE up in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
So BAE produced a new visual training tool that takes workers step by step through the process of assembling green energy bus batteries. Now, fortunately, due to demand, BAE has dramatically increased the pace of production, and that means they brought on a lot of new people, which has forced them to look at innovative solutions so that they can build the product correctly every time. Now, companies like BAE are using IoT data to get the right instructions queued up, and AR to deliver those instructions, and then to confirm that the assembly process was done completely and correctly. The use of PTC and Microsoft AR solutions together, like you saw there, has allowed BAE to train new employees 30 to 40% more efficiently. There's tremendous value that can be created by combining IoT, MR, analytics, and business orchestration together in one integrated solution, especially in more complicated multi-product organizations where companies want to be able to go fast but still be accurate and consistent in their delivery. So Rodney, any closing thoughts based on your experience in helping enterprises pursue industrial innovations like the ones that we've seen here?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest guidance for the room, those here and those online, is just to utilize the tools. You've made it so easy, and it's such a great partnership to see that we're leveraging each other's capability. The second action is like here today, go and see the BAE solution. Those of you who are thinking about and wondering, hey, how do we get started? Is it truly that easy to get started? Go and talk to the folks in the exploration area and learn and understand and ask questions. And then the third thing, Jim, is a request for all and a reminder that in this space of IoT and AR, it takes 20 to 25 partners to drive a customer solution from end to end. Leverage the time here this week in networking and connect with each other so that we can go and win the market together.
Yeah, okay, great. Well, thank you very much, Rodney.
Thank you for having me, Jim. I appreciate it.
And spending some time with us today.
Thank you.
So hopefully you can all understand why there's so much energy around digital innovation and how powerful the combination of PTC and Microsoft is in terms of helping customers implement their digital transformation journey. I think these possibilities mean we all need to pick up the pace and once again, prepare to change. Now, from that BAE example, you got a taste of what's happening on the human front. This is where you probably are going to find some of the most amazing progress of all, and I have a bunch more surprises for you. So if you step back and think about it, digital technology has seen an unrelenting pace of innovation for decades now. But the way that humans interact with this technology hasn't progressed much at all. When I run an app on my new iPhone, the experience I get isn't much different from what I experienced when I first used Windows 3 about 30 years ago. Now, the challenge is that Mother Nature designed humans to interact only with the physical world. We have no digital ports, just those 5 senses of taste, touch, smell, hearing, and sight. If you want to send digital information to a human, you're going to need a modem of sorts that can convert digital signals into analog signals that our senses can detect, and then back again. Frankly, it's hard to decode much, or to encode much digital information into our sense of taste, smell, and touch. But Siri and Alexa and Cortana provide everyday proof that we can convert digital data to speech and back again. Now, it's painfully slow. only a few words per second. Remember when you were taught to say 1001 to count off a second? Well, that's 3 words per second. And compared to computers, it's a glacial speed. So that leaves us with our 5th sense, which is sight. Now, it turns out that sight is lightning fast way to ingest information, but only if I use it in the right way. So let's try a test. If I close my eyes and then open them for 1 second and look around, I've absorbed a tremendous amount of information. I see that I'm inside a huge auditorium on a big stage. There are thousands of people around me, including a few dozen I recognize even here from the stage. There's big screens, there's light shining on me, there's these funny orby things. And frankly, I'm getting nervous just talking about it, so I should move on. But if I use that same 1 second to pull out my iPhone and to read some text, I'm back to getting 3 words worth of information. So just 1001. And that's why a picture is worth 1,000 words, and a video is, many pictures per second, but a direct pipeline into reality is much faster yet. So because sight is so powerful, this single sense is responsible for about 80% of the information that we as humans get. If we could harness this powerful sense to transmit digital information in a more optimal way, it would be amazing. So to me, that's what AR is all about. In my view, a HoloLens is just a modem for our sense of sight and hearing, a device that makes digital information part of the scenery. It responds to our gestures, and it communicates to us with voice and sound. It's not just the HoloLens. There's Magic Leap and Google and others. And of course, our phones and tablets can enable these augmented experiences as well. But this means that in a world where the cloud and IoT and analytics have exponentially expanded the capabilities of machines and smart connected products, now AR gives us a way to create smart connected humans. AR is a great equalizer because it empowers humans with those same digital capabilities that make machines so powerful. So let me meet one of our customers that's using IoT and AR to impact the way that humans are serviced all over the world. So please join me in welcoming the Chief Operating Officer of Sysmex America, Andrew Hay. Hi, Andy. It's amazing to learn from your video that, and from our conversations, that 70% of the decisions made in healthcare facilities are based on lab results, and 75% of the blood cell counting tests in the US happen on your Sysmex analyzers. So how do you use IoT and AR to improve patient care?
Yeah, Jim. It's true, Jim. To maintain the operating rooms, receive ambulances, treat cancer patients, or even any patient, a hospital or clinic must maintain immediate access to blood cell counts 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Many of the major institutions will have multiple systems available to keep them in high availability, and they hold us accountable to maintain their systems in a constant state of readiness, to provide results that are accurate when they need them, even often within just a few minutes. It's really a critical part of the patient treatment event.
Now, Andy, you and I have talked a few times along the way, and I know you've been pursuing a digital transformation program for some time now. Can you talk a little bit about the results that you're seeing?
Yeah. Over the last 10 years, we've really been able to transform our service support model and radically change the industry standard that was heavily reliant on skilled service engineers, field-based, somewhat expensive model to maintain those complex instruments. We've moved to a proactive service model where we can verify the calibration status of the instruments remotely, and even multiple times a day when the regulations actually only require that they're verified twice per year. We're also providing maintenance on the analyzers based on what they need, using the evidence obtained digitally, rather than prescribed maintenance, which was previously given whether they needed it or not. At Sysmex, with our collaboration with PTC, another major result was that we were able to transform our service support model from a cost of doing business and now into a thriving revenue and profit center. The CFO loves us. He even opens the door to me when I come asking for money. The use of real-time, actionable digital data coming from the instrument has truly changed the paradigm in diagnostic support at Sysmex.
All right, so that's interesting, and you've had pretty tremendous success, really. So what do you think is the next frontier of innovation for Sysmex?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked, Jim. So one innovation that we're thinking about is a way we can improve the efficiency of the service support staff by increasing their knowledge at the point when they need it, providing them better tools so that when there is a problem that actually requires that they go on site, the time to repair the system and the quality of that repair can be enhanced dramatically. In order to do that, we're reusing the augmented reality technology to provide just-in-time knowledge and implementing the PTC concept of the digital twin.
Yeah, that's great, Andy. So looks like we have a medical lab appearing here next to us. Let's go take a look.
Sure.
So maybe you can start by telling us what this machine is at the end down here.
Certainly. This is an XM1000. It's one of our most innovative products. There's about 4,500 of these in the US alone in hospitals and clinics all around the country.
Okay, so for products like this Sysmex blood analyzer, AR allows us humans to visualize all the digital information about the product in context and to receive service instructions and guidance and so forth. So I see that there's an alert here on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And it says that there's something I need to do here with this green part. I need to take it out and put it back. Okay. But I also see at the top, there's a, hey, Jim, you can call for help button here. So I'm going to hit that and call my friend Donna using our chalk technology and bring her into the conversation.
Good morning, Jim. How can I help you today?
I'm going to start the video here. And I have a question for you.
Sure. Show me what you have.
Come a little closer here, maybe. Okay. It was saying I needed to switch this thing. Can you tell me what's going on there?
Sure. It looks like you're working in the read cartridge area. Really what you need to do is just make sure that these are seated properly. So can you see that little tab there?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. If you on that tab push that down, it'll seat, and then you should be ready to go.
Okay.
Now, all you need to do now is close the lid, and you should be set.
All right, great. Thank you. So you can see our AR has come a long way. When we first did demonstrations with Sysmex, I remember we were using a marker called a ThingMark.
Yeah.
And then we progressed to using CAD models. And now we've advanced that technology to the point where we can have many different perspectives on this one machine, or frankly, actually track multiple machines at the same time. So it's come a long way, and it shows you, how incredibly useful this technology is for your service technicians out in the field. So thank you, Andy, for joining me and sharing the impact that IoT and AR technology is having on your business at Sysmex.
My pleasure, Jim. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, the opportunity for AR expands well beyond the products that many in the audience here design, manufacture, operate, and service. Now it reaches into places where people do their work, like a work site or a factory or, frankly, a medical lab. So today we're going to unveil a series of groundbreaking new innovations that have been developed at PTC to enable a mix of object-based AR, like you saw, with spatial-based AR. So what if a clinic worker needs to know how the Sysmex blood analyzer fits into an entire medical lab flow? Maybe it's just one part of a process that actually crosses many pieces of equipment. And how do we help our customers create AR experiences in these type of, let's call them cluttered or messy situations, where there probably is no CAD data, and frankly, we might not yet even have any process data. So to accommodate this type of scenario, which happens all the time, we've been developing a new technology in our reality lab called Waypoint. Waypoint's coming out of MIT and Harvard. It's a little startup that PTC acquired, and it's a brand new way to author work instructions. It's software that enables humans to easily capture how a process is actually performed, when it's performed, and then convert that back into instructions for everyone else to use later. So to help demonstrate how Waypoint works, Alexa Rice, one of our engineers here at PTC, the other Alexa, will be the expert lab technician who wants to show you how to properly perform the daily startup procedure and to prep the lab for doing blood samples. So with Waypoint, all Alexa has to do is put on her HoloLens. She's going to launch the Waypoint app and then start doing her process, explaining out loud the process as she goes. So we're going to switch to a live video feed from Alexa's HoloLens. So you can see here she is at step one.
Go over to the refrigerator, remove the sample from the fridge, take picture.
Now the Waypoint software starts to capture what's happening here. And Alexa is using voice
Place
commands.
the sample on the bench for 15 minutes to allow it to warm to room temperature. Take picture.
To annotate, to take pictures, and to put block points
Next step.
between one step and the next.
Go
These are
over to
code
the
words that
analyzer.
will get interpreted by the software
Check the
later.
trap for fluids. Take picture.
Now, because she's documenting her process as she actually does it, rather than when she's sitting
Next
back
step.
in her office some days later, this is being recorded where and when she does it, and she's not going to miss any important details, and she's not going to have to rush back to her desk to update the documentation. So all this information from her session here is being captured as structured data that's securely stored now for future use. So we won't make her do the whole
Thank you.
session, but thanks, Alexa, for coming up here and capturing the process. So don't get ahead of me. The best part's still to come. So in the amount of time it took Alexa to do the process, she was also able to author work instructions for others to come along and learn from what she did using a level of detail that was previously unimaginable. So imagine the implications to training, to quality, to compliance. The possibilities, frankly, are endless. So now the second part of Waypoint is a desktop editor that allows end users to post-process and edit and revise what was captured during Alexa's task here. So users can update the text descriptions, they can reorder the steps if they wanted to, they can extract new images and videos from the recording, and once this procedure has been edited, approved, maybe even finalized, it can be published. Now, one way to publish it is to push it out to a Microsoft Word document, which is sort of a standard operating procedure that you might store in Windchill or in some kind of a service database. So this is the Microsoft Word version, and that's pretty cool. But we could use this now so that a second person could come along, read the document, and so forth. But a much better way to do it would be use AR to re-deliver the instructions and the procedure while a new employee is actually doing the process in the context of the same lab, the same equipment, the same physical locations. So with that, I'm going to be joined here now by Varun Mani, who's one of the co-founders and creators of the Waypoint technology. And let's assume Varun's a new hire, and his job here is to do this setup, but he needs to learn how to properly perform it each day. So the lab is ready to go, ready to start processing blood samples. So using Waypoint software now on his HoloLens, Varun can simply load and follow the previously captured and edited process, Alexa's step-by-step instructions. So Waypoint highlights the exact location as a waypoint of each step, and then delivers back the photos, the videos, and the text so that Varun knows what to do when he arrives, and he can verify that he's doing the procedure correctly.
So I'm just going to finish up here right now, Jim. So as you can see also, as we walk closer to these steps, we can even get rich photos and videos telling me exactly how to do the stuff so I don't mess anything up.
Now, is that cool or what? So wait, there's even one more thing. Now, since Waypoint collects important data about how Varun or any other end user performed that process, we can now use these rich spatial analytics to help process engineers understand, how to optimize the way that work is performed. So thanks for the demo, Varun. That's really great stuff. And it's powerful, it's simple. Where do you see this going in terms of where's this technology going to have the biggest impact?
Absolutely, Jim. So we're literally just scratching the surface here, and medical labs are just one example where capturing and delivering processes completely in augmented reality changes the way frontline workers do their jobs. And augmented reality finally allows us to deliver the same advancements desk workers like you and I have frankly enjoyed for so long, and now we get to take that to 2.5 billion frontline workers out there and change the way that they do their work on a daily basis.
2.5 billion.
2.5 billion. That's our goal here. It's a lofty goal.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So, personally, I think that's incredible. You saw a live capture. Yeah, we used a video of the editing because that takes a little bit of time, but then live delivery, and it's really that fast and easy. So it's simple to deploy, it's simple to use, yet you can see the productivity benefits would be tremendous. I think it's going to create a great advantage for our customers. Now I have something that's equally amazing, maybe even more so. So far, we've been talking about how AR allows smart, connected humans to visualize digital information in the context of a thing, like the Sysmex machine, or a space, like the lab, and then to get access to data and instructions and guidance. But what about interaction? How could AR also transform the way that humans interact with digital and physical things? So for that answer, let's take a look at a really cool technology called Reality Editor, which is also coming out of the PTC Reality Lab. And it's co-founded at the MIT Media Lab by Valentin Hune, who's now part of the PTC team. So, hey, Valentin.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, Tom. So, can you tell me what kind of a strange-looking setup do you have here?
Yeah, so we're finishing the setup, just roughly. OK, so we built this amazing feeder. It's a kind of an old technology. Maybe everyone understands easily what it does. We have this hopper here. It's filled with some material. And we have a bin here. And when we push the on button, the system starts to feed into that bin. And we can stop it again.
Okay.
And that's what it does.
So, I mean, it looks like, I guess, a fairly basic automation setup. There's not a lot of sophisticated, human-machine interface or anything like that. So what have you done with AR that I don't see here?
Yeah, so the interesting thing with AR is when we look at this machine, we actually can see how this entire machine is programmed.
Oh, wow. So you're showing projecting or augmenting the programming of this system right onto the equipment itself?
That's true. So I can explain a little bit what's happening here. So we have here the on-off button feeding into a switch. The switch feeds into the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt feeds into a splitter that turns the lights on and off. This is actually a live program. So for example, if I swipe through this line, I have disconnected the buttons from the conveyor belt, and I can just draw back that line to start the system again.
Oh, wow, OK. So you're actively programming the logic of this whole system. I mean, I look at it with my naked eye, and I don't see any of that. And then I look at what's on your phone, which is projected on the screen up here, and I see the whole program overlaid on this. That's really pretty amazing.
But this system is, very labor-intensive. Somebody has to stand on it, and it's really hard to measure by eye how much fits into that bin. So we worked on another table. So let's leave that dumb table on the side and look at this smart table here that we built.
Oh, OK.
It has a similar software in here. You might recognize the lights again with that splitter. But then there is an AND. So we have basically two statements that need to become true. And on the right side, we have a button. And on the left side, we have this augmented program that we call a limiter. So I can change the scale. And I'm pushing a freeze button so that you don't get dizzy in the audience. If I put that bin on here, you see how that bin has weight to turn that limiter green. That means something could start. And if I push a little bit more, it will turn off again.
Yeah, OK.
So that seems like a wonderful little tool for this machine over here. So I will just bring that system here. And the interesting part is these are two entirely separated systems. Each of them programmed in augmented reality. So I can look at these two systems. And I can easily combine these two systems through that IoT system in the background. So I go from this ant over here, drop it in the conveyor belt, and you see how immediately that system starts working.
Oh, OK. So the smart table turned on the conveyor belt.
Yeah. So you now see the scale goes up, and after some time, you will see how the system is stopped by the limiter.
Oh, wow. OK. So it measured exactly when the bin was full enough, and then turned the other machine off. And now Tom puts in a new bin, and it measures that there's a new bin there, and it turns the conveyor back on.
Exactly.
And
we had a couple of incidents before where we just pulled off of the material while there was no bin, so we put an on and off button in there.
OK.
But having this on-off button just in augmented reality is a little bit tricky. When something goes wrong, you want to take your phone out, it takes too long. So we have this screen here. It's a Microsoft Surface, so it has a touch screen. So maybe we can just put that on-off button onto that touch screen, so you have it at hand.
How are you going to do that? Because that button isn't real.
Yeah, so let's make it real. So here what you see, we have these graphs, and these graphs represent all the data from the sensors and so on. But you see that there is this one graph, it's kind of double. So let's just take this off the screen, jump, and drop it onto the feeder.
Oh,
so now you see how this became augmented reality. And now let's go to the machine and take this on-off button, take it from that table, drop it onto the screen, and push it into the screen.
Wow.
That's how you can build in future your interfaces.
Yeah, wow. I mean, you have my head spinning. So first, you used AR to program the digital interfaces of two separate machines. Then you used AR to connect them back together in some integrated logic. And then you created a display that monitors some key parameters, and you move that around, and you're putting the controls on the computer screen and taking things off the computer screen and making them virtual. I mean, that's absolutely amazing stuff that destroys any notion of separate digital and physical worlds that I ever had. So that's really great stuff. Thank you a lot, Valentin. It's been great to work with you on this kind of stuff. And thank you.
You're welcome.
So I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm pretty sure I just saw the future of human-machine interfaces. So once again, I think anybody that really understands what Valentin did showed us that we need to prepare to change. So you've seen a number of different examples, all based on real running software of what a smart, connected human experience might feel like when it's empowered by AR. Now, to keep PTC's broad AR story clear and simple, we've consolidated all of our different AR capabilities under the Vuforia brand. So everything from the original Vuforia View to Waypoint, the Reality Editor, Chalk, Studio, all that stuff is now Vuforia. I think we have a big competitive lead in AR, and I think it's powered by the very best talent in the industry, and you had a peek at some of that today. So the customer interest in this technology is literally off the charts. Our Vuforia Studio, for example, we have a trial program aimed at industrial enterprises, and we've already had 10,000 enterprises engaged in exploring the technology. Now, everybody's intrigued and excited, and many of you have been progressing toward purchasing and deploying the technology. And I trust you can all see a future that's loaded with smart connected products, smart connected operations, and smart connected humans. Physical, digital, and human innovation are all super interesting by themselves. but they really aren't exclusive. One of the common places where you'll see physical, digital, and human innovation happening side by side is in the factory. And that's become a key focus for PTC. Now, frankly, we haven't historically been known for our factory prowess. But in just a few years, our IoT and AR technology has been selected for deployment in 800 factories by 200 companies all over the world. This part of our business is growing very fast, and our unique solutions are creating competitive advantage for those customers. So companies like Colfax and Woodward, for example. Now, to show you how, I'd like to invite these two customers to join me here on stage and talk about how they're winning in the factory. So first up, please welcome the Chief Information Officer at Woodward, Matt Cook. Hey, Matt.
Hi, Jim. Good to see you.
And then second, please join me in welcoming the Vice President of Digital Growth at Colfax, Ryan Kalan. Thanks, Ryan. So can you guys each start by describing the problems you're trying to solve and how you got started?
So the primary focus for us was introducing new products and services that would yield business advantage through digital technologies. Our challenge was that we have a very diverse set of businesses and applications and an acquisition strategy that means nothing ever stands still. So we needed a digital infrastructure that would accelerate our efforts, let our business focus on the applications and not on the underlying technology.
How about you, Matt?
Well, in the past several years, Woodward's experienced significant growth in our business, and we made very significant investments in new facilities as well as new production capabilities to meet that demand. This comes with a major need, as you saw earlier, to be able to onboard new members, and we refer to our employees as members, as quickly as possible, make them productive, and be able to start to fill that demand. One of the things we also need to do is be able to address quality. We need to make sure our products are manufactured with the exact specifications to operate in our harsh environments of our customers, and be able to make sure that they can perform to the design that they were done. One other area we wanted to do was be able to make sure address what we call escapes. Now, an escape is where a product makes it through a manufacturing process or a design process and doesn't conform to the exact specification, or maybe even has a defect and gets out to our customers, which we all know isn't a good thing. So we started by taking a look at our overall process, and we wanted to develop a digital process enterprise-wide that resolved all of these areas, but then also enabled us to set the foundation to take advantage of new capabilities in IoT or other areas that are coming out.
So can you share with the audience the results that you've achieved to date? Excuse me.
So I'll start.
Yes, please do.
So we're only 5 months into the journey with scaling beyond our pilots with PTC and the Azure framework from Microsoft. But so far, we've greatly accelerated development. In that short period of time, we've managed to launch 2 new products, and we have several others in the pipeline, one of which you actually saw today with our welder.
Yeah.
We've been able to also standardize on a common reference architecture that provides efficiency across the diverse applications. We anticipate that this will continue to provide dividends as we onboard new businesses and start to see the network effect of knowledge sharing across those businesses.
Okay, and how about you, Matt?
Well, the system we implemented we call MIS, which stands for Manufacturing Information System, and is based upon the ThingWorx platform. MIS provides a standard work interface that includes detailed work instructions, pictures, inspection requirements, and a smart interface directly into our production equipment and tools. The real strength of the MIS system is its ability to bridge that digital and physical worlds that you've been talking about and integrate our members, the information that they need to do their job, and the equipment and production processes that they use into a seamless flow. With all these capabilities, one benefit area that we've gotten first off is onboarding new members. We've been able to take in our assembly and test area and reduce onboard training from 7.5 days to 2.5 days for every new member. That, with over 8,000 members worldwide, and the majority of them being on shop floor, this is incredible savings as we continue to enhance new production lines and revamp old production lines. Another area we built into MIS we call lean labor. And really that automates all the transactions our members used to perform manually. We took a look at one campus with only 600 of our members, and that's less than 10% of our workforce. And we actually expect savings of over 30,000 labor hours per year just in that area. And the last benefit, or not the last because we're still early in our journey, is the direct integration into our production tooling and equipment, where we can actually see when a defect is happening, record that information, and stop the production process as things are going, which results in guaranteeing that we can actually eliminate those escapes, improve first pass yield, and product quality.
So today, we're all familiar with the big news stories we hear about, data privacy and security. I mean, the Facebook story, the hijacked or hacked Jeeps, the Stuxnet worm, all that stuff that happens when digital and physical worlds come together. And I think we're at a point where, as our Chief Security Officer, Josh Corman, likes to say, bits and bytes meet flesh and blood. And of course, we're concerned about it, but how do you guys think about these privacy and security concerns? Let's start with you, Ryan.
So to us, this is especially relevant because we run a very lean organization. We don't have a large central IT team or a central engineering team. And our customers' applications and preferences are extremely varied across all of the different industries we serve. So we need to be flexible to accommodate. One of the reasons that we chose PTC and Microsoft is that you understand and you reflect in your products this reality of our customers. And you bring a deep understanding of the not so perfect world that our customers' applications operate in. We'd never keep up if we were trying to do this on our own. This is why working with technology leaders like yourselves has made a lot of sense. If anything, I liked the way you framed that. This is the perfect reason that you term things moving from pace versus place.
Yeah, great. Okay, and Matt?
Well, as you can imagine, being involved in the aerospace market with flight critical parts, and also in the industrial market where our products connect directly to the power grid, we have to be very considerate of security in our products as we start to connect them globally. This is one of the reasons we partnered with PTC and selected the platforms across our ecosystem. And also we want to tap into PTC's knowledge of what's happening in the world with security concerns with other enterprises so we can utilize those best practices.
Okay, just before we wrap up, can you guys share with the audience your vision for the future? Where do you think you're going with this?
So for us, what started as a smart connected products journey has turned into opportunities to close the loop within our own operations, which has kicked off new efforts for us. And we anticipate that we'll be able to improve the quality and to better understand consumption as we tie that between our operations and our products in the field. But the real opportunity for me is when we start to work together with our suppliers and with our customers on a smart connected value chain, where we share best practices, where we share the efficiencies of using a common reference architecture. I see this as a big opportunity for you as technology vendors to help bring together different entities with similar objectives. Of course, that involves reducing the friction of getting started with technology, but it's also about the business systems, the organizational readiness, and the process change, so we aren't all trying to go on this journey independently. Long term, of course, I see that there is the nature of industrial work will continue to shift towards a shared resource model, including both equipment as well as people. And with ubiquitous connectivity, with augmented reality, with AI, I see the emergence of that smart connected worker that you talked about, with greater access to insights and expertise, and where location and even their organization is no longer a boundary. With that will truly change the nature of industrial work.
Okay, Matt, how about you? What's your vision for the future?
Well, Jim, I think my account rep, Jason, would say my ultimate vision would be all of this for free. But I don't think that's going to actually happen in this world. And so when we look at how Woodward works, we want to be able to operate where we see a complete digital process from the conceptual design of a product through the engineering side to where they're actually developing it. And as we saw earlier, which is new to us to hear, the ANSYS partnership, getting that real-time feedback from analysis to the engineers so they can make their changes right as they're designing it in a digital model world. Then being able to take those designs directly to the manufacturing floor, whether we use common manufacturing with large equipment like we do, and we've also been investing significantly in the additive manufacturing space. Regardless, taking that product design to the manufacturing floor, building it and delivering it to your customer without any manual intervention. Then having those products connected directly back to us and into our customer's ecosystem to be able to take that information and design new improvements without even being asked, or address quality issues, or as we've always been talking about, preventative maintenance issues. We also have been piloting Vuforia and using that in some of the areas that you've seen here. We expect an environment where all of our members are interfacing with the products digitally with an overlay directly on the products rather than having to look at a screen and interface with it.
Yeah, great. Okay, thanks, guys. I want to thank you both for being great customers, but for coming here and sharing your time and your insights and thoughts with us here today. So thank you, Matt,
thanks,
and thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
So I need to come back for a minute to this topic of security that we touched on. In another change of pace, PTC has been taking a fresh look at how we think about security, especially in the IoT world. So there's an incredible opportunity in this convergence of physical, digital, and human fronts. I think we all see that. Unfortunately, there are adversaries out there that also see an opportunity. And they're increasingly looking to attack safety-critical and industrial targets, and I think this changes everything. As I said, this is the place where bits and bytes meet flesh and blood. So in a smart, connected world, what we all do carries an enormous responsibility, and we need to stand up to that and make some pretty big changes. PTC is committed to doing its part, and we need each of you, both partners and customers, to do your part. To that end, we've published what we call a shared responsibility model to help everybody understand their role in keeping an overall system secure. Now, frankly, it doesn't work anymore to think that if a system's working, don't touch it. We need our partners and our customers to be committed to owning their share of the responsibility for creating and maintaining a secure environment. Now, for those of you who are willing but don't know where to start, we're here to help you get started on this journey. Cyber safety is everyone's responsibility, and I encourage you to go to the Cyber Safety Village in Extropolis to see the stakes and learn more about our shared responsibility model. Now, as the conversation with Matt and Ryan would suggest, PTC is having a surprising amount of success enabling our customers to transform and win in the factory. Smart factories, or what we call Smart Connected Operations, or SCO, is a big new opportunity for PTC. Maybe it's too big. It's one that's going to require a lot of expertise, a lot of technology, and a lot of scale for us to fully capture and win. So we at PTC realized that with an advantage this great and an opportunity this large, we could benefit immensely from a big brother type of partner that would enhance our expertise, our credibility, and the depth of our technology footprint. So I'm very pleased to say that we found that partner. And last week we announced a major strategic partnership with Rockwell Automation. This partnership is just what we need to further capitalize on the SCO opportunity. So to talk about this partnership, I've invited Rockwell Automation's chairman and CEO to join me in discussing how our organizations are aligning to be the winner in smart manufacturing and Industry 4.0. So please join me in welcoming Blake Moret to the stage. Hey, Blake. So welcome to LiveWorx, and thank you very much for joining us. I'm sure that everybody in the audience knows the Rockwell brand, but can you provide a little bit more insight into what Rockwell Automation does?
Sure, Jim. Rockwell Automation is the world's largest company dedicated to industrial automation and information solutions that makes its customers more productive and the world more sustainable. We have more than 35,000 customers, and we serve them with 22,000 employees in more than 80 countries.
Wow, that's exactly the type of big brother partner I was looking for. Can you talk about the strengths in the market that Rockwell Automation has?
Sure, Jim. We serve customers in discrete, hybrid, and process industries around the world. We're in many of the same automotive and industrial accounts that PTC has strengths in, but we also complement PTC with our strength in places like pharmaceuticals, consumer packaged goods, oil and gas, chemicals, mining, and materials. Between us, we cover a very broad market.
So for any of you that missed the big review last week, let me describe the first part of our partnership, which is to align our smart manufacturing technologies. So PTC has several key smart factory technologies today, like ThingWorx, Vuforia, and Kepware. And Rockwell Automation has several complementary technologies like FactoryTalk Analytics and FactoryTalk Manufacturing Execution System, or MES. So we've agreed to create a new integrated solution that combines these technologies under one single suite brand, which of course will be named later. Now, both partners are excited about this approach because there's nobody out there who has a solution that includes this full range of IoT, analytics, MES, augmented reality. So Blake, can you talk about the second part, which is how we're going to take this integrated suite to market?
Well, we both have big customer bases and good routes to market, so we'll each sell the same integrated suite through our respective channels and partners. I think it's going to be great.
Now, Blake, you've talked a lot about Rockwell Automation, but how do you see, PTC fitting into your connected enterprise story?
Sure. We've been talking for years about how the convergence of IT and OT enables the connected enterprise. Both companies have a similar vision of how the world is changing, but PTC's heritage comes more from the IT world, and Rockwell Automation's heritage is from the OT world. So this partnership is really about IT and OT convergence, and we think it will only accelerate the vision of the connected enterprise.
Okay. So it seems that customers have responded with a lot of excitement in the last week. Why do you think that is?
Well, actually, customers were asking us to do this. They know that when they combine IT and OT data, they can use analytics both to optimize processes and to prevent unexpected downtime.
Now, Blake, I know the near-term focus is on integrating our smart factory technologies, but I can tell you that Rockwell now has a friendly partner in the CAD and PLM and SLM world. We can help you with design and simulation and additive manufacturing and our MPM Link software and so forth, all that stuff that was demonstrated earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. And PTC has a close partner who brings the full suite of industrial automation capabilities, from PLC programming to sensors and drives and motion control and all the rest that Rockwell Automation is known for.
Okay, so Blake, one last topic. Now, many people really took note when they heard that you invested $1 billion into PTC equity and that you're personally joining the PTC board of directors. Can you share what's behind that?
Sure, Jim. Now, we made the investment for two reasons. First, to really cement the partnership and to show everybody how committed we both are. Second, because we think that PTC has a bright future and we expect a big return on that investment.
All right, I'm sure you're going to get it. Thank you, Blake.
Thanks, Jim.
I want to thank you for putting so much confidence in PTC. We, of course, have a lot of confidence in Rockwell, and I'm looking forward to working with Blake as a partner and, of course, working with him in the boardroom as well. I encourage all of you to take a look at the demonstration of our integrated products that was set up in Extropolis. You're going to see a great example of how all this stuff comes together, with a pretty sophisticated working apparatus and so forth. So thank you, Blake and Rockwell, for that. So sort of in closing, I realize I threw a lot at you this morning. I took you on a high-speed, excursion, if you will, of major new developments happening across the physical, the digital, and the human fronts. On the physical front, I talked about some surprising breakthroughs in additive manufacturing. And Ajay Gopal and I showed you a huge breakthrough in real-time simulation enabled by a new partnership with Ansys. On the digital front, Rodney Clark and I talked about breakthroughs in IoT enabled by our new partnership with Microsoft. And we showed you our new ThingWorx orchestration capabilities that make it easy to automate business processes that blend IoT data with data from PLM systems like Windchill and ERP and CRM systems like Dynamics or SAP or Salesforce. And on the human front, Varun, Alexa, Valentin, and I showed you capabilities in AR that I'm betting you didn't even know existed in some cases. And once again, I highlighted the strong partnership on the AR and MR front with Microsoft. Then I told you about how all that comes together in the factory, and Blake Moret and I discussed what's behind the very big new partnership with Rockwell Automation that allows customers to realize the full power of the connected enterprise. Of course, I want to thank customers like Polaris and Triumph, and especially Sysmex and Woodward and Colfax, who joined me on the stage. But I also want to thank the tens of thousands of the rest of you who have partnered with PTC to rely on us to help you drive the future of your innovation. I hope that simply by observing the amount of changes that have happened since you saw me on this stage last year, you can see how fast we're moving. You can see that I'm obsessed with ensuring that PTC is open and willing to embrace a continuous pace of change. And maybe why I think all of you should be too. So thank you very much, and have a great time here at LiveWorx 2018.